Wellbeing for me means something quite holistic, so it's about taking care of both the body and the mind and doing activities that promote well-being rather than just focusing on times when you might want to do something to fix an injury or to fix something that's gone wrong.
Sometimes well-being can be mistaken for sort of like happiness and having a feeling of positivity all the time. I think well-being can be about just accepting where you are at the time and knowing that, things ebb and flow and there will be the ups and downs. And I think that's an important part of well-being, is accepting the fact that feelings will always change and things always change. And, so part of well-being is about being adaptable to things being changing and not being afraid of change.
Well-being is the absence of extremes. It's living within something that's a bit stable. I think my default position is lack of stability. So being stable without too much drama, too much excitement, be it happy excitement or unhappy despair, and that sort of thing is for me well-being.
My suggestion will be in this respect is the idea of waking up in the morning and knowing how your day, what your day is going to bring and what are you going to contribute in that day. Well-being is about eating well, it's about feeling well, it's about relating to other people in a positive way and finding sense. And many people don't have that possibility of finding meanings in the things that they do, no?
Certainly in the work that I do, which is encouraging people to come together as a group, either to practice Tai Chi or to do some mindfulness meditation, there's something about practicing an activity together that allows you to really feel connected to the people that you're working with. And certainly what I believe is happening is that when you're in a group of people who all have the same intention together, something very special can happen. So they're really all tuning their minds and their brains to the same activity, and that allows a real sense of connection and community.
Connecting with others is an ongoing challenge, simply because I don't have the trust that is required. So it's always a case of building up relationships and nurturing them, and when I'm unwell, it's always a case of me thinking that the worst has happened and that people are rejecting me, or I might reject them before it comes to the point where they reject me. So it's an ongoing challenge.
Music's a really good way of connecting, a way of connecting without kind of words and without meaning in a way. Music means a lot to me, so when I meet someone where music means a lot to them, then I feel like there's a shared understanding, maybe a shared life experience as well, a way of looking at the world.
Being active and keeping the body active is crucial to well-being. The mind and the body are connected, and we can influence the mind by being active in the body, and we can influence the body by doing certain things with the mind. And we know that being active is as effective as antidepressants in helping people to recover from short periods of depression. It's also very helpful for people with chronic health conditions. Getting out, being active releases endorphins, which are the kind of feel-good hormones in the brain. So really any kind of activity can do that, whether it's a walk or a run or just going out with a friend, walking around the block, very important.
We think that physical therapy has such an important role in the well-being of people because that's associated to nutrition, to relating to people, to connecting, finding out what are the opportunities there, accessing them, and the so-called social inclusion, and it's part of the whole package, no?
Mindfulness has been really good for me. I'm naturally someone who wants to go at 1,000,000 miles an hour the whole time, and I've really had to make myself slow down. I think it's been a lot of learning recently that I've realised that actually by going slower, I'll still get the most, most out of life, but I'll really notice things and enjoy things along the way. And through drawing as well, that's really, it slows me down. I'm able to really explore and look at things, so things that you wouldn't notice have been there.
If I'm walking down to Brixton Road, I always look around. It's like there's a little park. I look in the park, I see birds. I always watch the trees, and I see the seasons. So for me, that's taking notice. And I change with the seasons. I'm aware of that. My moods change. The things I do, the things I paint, so I take notice and just be with my surroundings.
Taking notice is taking pleasure out of what people who don't take notice think are mundane things. So I guess it's in some way, even though it sounds a bit cheesy, looking at things afresh and as if they're kind of new and you haven't seen them before, and being kind of curious in that way, rather than assuming that just walking past and being, and yeah, like you say, I mean, there must be so many people that just travelling is just a means to an end. It's just a way of getting somewhere rather than enjoying kind of what is out there. Because I mean, really, if you look at the world in that way, then there's just infinite variety of things to look at and to enjoy and to hear, to smell.
Because of the things that I do in groups, and especially like with the Tai Chi, it's taking notice of how you move. First of all, you've got to take notice of what the instructor's doing, because it's more you follow by doing rather than anything that's sort of prescriptive in that way. You take notice of how you move as well in relation to the environment around you. And what's really nice is when we come out here and we train, and you take notice of the trees because you're there, and some of the poses that you're doing, like being like a tree, and how your feet feel on the ground. And so that's what Tai Chi does. It helps you take notice, of all sorts of things, your balance and just the way you move, and also the flow of like energy, chi inside you as well. You start to notice that.
I rate learning. I think that's key to like a good life, like the pursuit of knowledge. I think it's important. Whether you do that on your own or whether you do that with others, whether you do it with a teacher, I think it's sort of fundamental, really. I do a lot of courses. I kind of love evening courses. So I do print making and jewellery making, and I kind of describe myself as a jack of all trades. I like to do different things, and I enjoy that initial process of developing a new skill. So I think it's something I'll continue to do.
In overall, we live in a very narrow-minded society, isn't it? But focusing in the football group here, obviously the guys, from the moment they are coming here, they are giving and they are receiving. It's a process of give and take to feel part of the group. Many of these guys have been isolated for such a long time, no? And here are the first step of starting developing network, friendship, finding sense in a meaningless kind of environment, and so on, no?
How I got into occupational therapy was through volunteering. I started teaching adults who had mental health problems, arts and crafts and pottery, and then I discovered occupational therapy through that. So that's a more formal way of giving. I think I give my time and I give a lot of energy to things as well, and I'm quite passionate about what I do. So I think giving people my support in what I do, and friends and family as well.
I think many of my eBay mistakes, they go back to charity shops. I often think that's my way of, I'm on a low income, but that's when I feel guilty about not giving enough. I think, well, I actually give quite a lot of quality clothes that don't fit me to places, but I also give as a human being, I think, when I'm able to. And I like my relationships to be authentic, and I think that requires giving of yourself.
My main tip for people is to slow down, because it's in the slowing down that we can begin to take notice. It's in the slowing down that we can notice connections that we have with other people, even if it's just with a shopkeeper or a bus driver. When we're slowing down, we're able to learn more because we can just see what's unfolding in front of us. And that might just be pausing, for example, before we automatically answer our mobile phone. Or it might be slowing down as we're walking to the shop so that we can take in the sounds of the birds or the environment around us. Or even just slowing down when we're eating our food so we can appreciate the tastes and the smells and the textures. So slowing down would be my top tip.
One tip to others, I reckon something around, and for myself as well, is for kind of to have self-compassion, to have an openness to yourself and acceptance for yourself as well as trying things and giving things a go, stepping outside your comfort zone and just noticing what's up there. Don't look at the ground, but look up and look at the colours and the trees, and maybe slowing down with that as well. So there's about 5 tips there, but yeah.